We already knew that makeup collabs were getting weirder and weirder and that the bar was literally downstairs, but now we're having a makeup collab with Tinder, and I'm a little bit confused. Hello friends, and welcome back to another Friday, another new makeup releases. We are gonna chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced, and sneak peeked. I'm gonna let you know how I feel about them, and then you let me know how you feel about them down in the comments. I'm very excited to dive into this week's new makeup because there are some real winners in here, some things that I am extremely excited about, and I cannot wait to hear how you feel about them. I'm super excited because today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. I am a big HelloFresh fan. This is no secret. I've been using HelloFresh together with my husband for years. We actually do enjoy cooking together, and we do take the time to cook together at least a couple of times a week, but we don't love going to the grocery store. And the whole meal planning, you know, sitting down, deciding what to eat for an entire week, then going to the grocery store, realizing you forgot something, realizing there's something specific that you need in the recipe that you end up buying and then never using again. You recognize that? That used to be me. With HelloFresh, you get every ingredient sent to your door, pre-measured, already put into bags, making it so easy for you to cook, to discover new recipes, or to just cook some really tried and true favorites. You go in every week, either to the website or to the app, you check out all the things that they have to choose from, and they have a lot of things to choose from. Every week they have 50 recipes to choose from. You just pick whatever sounds nice to you. They'll deliver it right to your door together with a recipe card that has pictures. I love the pictures that HelloFresh has. You can always refer back to them when you're like, what do you mean when you say dice? And then you can see how big of the pieces they actually mean. And not only do you get restaurant quality meals to cook for yourself at home, you also get such a good flexibility with what you want to choose. Like I said, you can choose some tried and true favorites like meatloaf or pasta dishes, or there are more vegetarian option, pescatarian option. Maybe you're trying to think about how many calories you're eating. Maybe you're trying to get the quick meals. That is something that I love with HelloFresh. Me and my husband, we eat the vegetarian dishes, but we also try and pick the dishes that have the quick on them, where you can go from hungry to having something to eat within like 20 minutes, and I love that option. We also love saving leftovers for the day after. Me and my husband are 2 people, but we do order for 4 people so that we can save some leftovers for the day after, and then we have a good lunch the day after as well, and you don't have to think about that. They also have this great marketplace where you can get breakfast items, snacks, all kinds of different great things. Desserts, their desserts are great as well, and their breakfast items are amazing. So also check out their marketplace for free breakfast for life. Go to hellofresh.com and use code FREEANGESHKA. 1 free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at hellofresh.com with code FREEANGESHKA. And if nothing else, go down to the HelloFresh website and just check out their menu. They have such a good menu, and it changes from week to week, and I love going in every week and deciding what we're gonna get, because yes, I do work with HelloFresh, but me and my husband also do have our own active HelloFresh subscription where we get a box every week, and this is just such a great service that saved us so much time, so much hassle, and I love knowing that we have a couple of HelloFresh dishes in the fridge when we want to cook together and the day's just been too busy. So thank you again, HelloFresh, so much for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the rest of the video. I did film this look. I'm gonna have a little bit of a chat to get ready with me next week, and I did use actually 2 palettes that are fairly new to my collection. I used the Unearthly Cosmetics Gargoyle palette, and I used the Undergrowth palette by Cosmic Beauty that is launching today. Let me scoochie and we can start talking about that one since I am wearing part of it. Oh, let me not fall off my chair. You never know. This is the new Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth palette. This is more affordable, more expanded, and according to me, even more exciting version of the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. And I love the Yucca palette. The Yucca palette is my favorite Natasha Denona palette that she has ever done. I think it's a great palette. But if I were to choose between the 2, I would choose this one. I would, because I think that this one is even more fun. I did a little bit of a yellow under lash line. Proper English, that's not what that was. And I really enjoy this palette. I think it's an amazing palette. And I keep going back and forth in my head. Like my recent Roman Empire, if you watched yesterday's video, my recent Roman Empire has been me thinking about this palette the last couple of weeks that I've had it and thinking, is this my new favorite Cosmic beauty palette? And I I don't know if it is. Because I keep thinking, I'm like, is it? It's so hard. It's so hard. I really love this brand. I think they make amazing makeup. This one is releasing today. Like I said, you can use my code and get 10% off when you're ordering from Cosmic Beauty. This is a UK-based indie brand. So it's shipping out of Europe. Just be aware of that in case you didn't know. And their prices, I think their prices are both in sterling, pounds, and dollars. I'm not 100% sure, but I will put the price down below in dollars. Or will I? Because I think she told me in sterling pounds, it's 28 sterling pounds. I know she told me that this was going to be the same price tag as some of her other palettes that I've had multi-chromes. So I'm expecting this one to be the same price as the Winter Wonderland that she had. So assume that that is going to be the price. Sometimes these palettes, and when I say sometimes, I mean most of the times the Cosmic Beauty palettes do have a tendency of selling out. So if you were interested in this palette, if you knew that you wanted this palette, I would say maybe be there at launch. If you're still contemplating, don't buy something just to buy it. She always restocks her palettes, but restocking makeup takes a couple of months. So just keep that in mind. If you want to see more things about this palette, if you want to see my 2 looks, if you want to see some swatches that I did, that was Monday's video. So check back on that one. Another fun release that we have, I don't have that one in front of me. No, I already moved it back to my reviewing basket, is the collab between my friend Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun and Fantasy Cosmetica. I've met the owner Jordan of Fantasy Cosmetica as well. She is so lovely and Amanda is a dear friend of mine. And I have known about this collab for such a long time and I'm just so happy that this is happening. I'm happy for both of them. I know that like Fantasy Cosmetica is one of Amanda's absolute favorite brands and I know how hard they worked on this and I know how much they've been like, you know, trying to get everything perfect, the packaging, adding to the collections, the tinted lip balms, the candle is so great. Where did I put? Oh, I put the candle downstairs because I wanted to show my husband. That's what I did. This one is also launching today and I think you can use my discount code and just can get some money off. I'm not 100% sure if it works on collab items or not. You're gonna have to check it out, but that's the code. That's the code that I have pretty much everywhere except Juvia's Place. You can just try it out. I'll pop up the code here in case I have it with some other brand that we're gonna be talking about. But I thought that this palette is so beautiful and I think this is a almost, dare I say, unusual twist to a fall palette. It's giving a different vibe of fall. And I will say, Amanda said that she wanted to give a palette that was the kind of fall that she could see outside of her window. She lives in North Carolina. And I will say, I kind of agree. This is more the kind of fall that I would see in Sweden too. It's not necessarily super orangey yellows. It is more this. This is very like a representation of the fall that we would see in Sweden too, with of course a pops of like orange and yellow, but also probably in Sweden more browns because North Carolina is a little bit warmer than Sweden. But I just thought that it was an interesting take on fall, and the tinted lip balms all have different scents and they're all so pretty. So super congratulations to both of you. I think this collection is beautiful and I will link that down below as well. Everything will be linked in the description box. If you're like, what was she talking about? What do you mean? Where can I find that? It's all going to be down in the description box, and I'll also pop up the things that are already available in the YouTube shopping. Let's talk about something that I tried out for the first time on Tuesday, and that is the new foundation from One Size Beauty. This one is called, let me double check so I'm not saying the wrong word. Do I have it? Why do I move all the things? I'm like using them, and I mean, technically I should pick up after myself every time I'm filming, but I usually don't. I'm very a neat freak in the rest of my house. In this room, not so much. It looks like a Sephora threw up in here, just boxes everywhere. So this is called the Turn Up the Base Full Beat Foundation. Friends, I love this. I wore it all, I put it on in the morning on Tuesday, and then I actually went shopping because I realized that it's not that warm in Australia. Me and my husband are going to Australia next week. I realized it's like 65 and I was like, whoop. I need to buy a pair of new jeans. So I decided to go on a jean hunt, and I also decided to get like what we in Sweden would call a fall jacket, but like here in Austin I haven't really needed something like that. So I decided to go on a hunt for that, and I wore this foundation the entire day, and I even came back at the end of the video and you can see my check-in. My skin is flawless. I did not blot. I did not powder. I did not do a touch up. I just left it as is. I went out for lunch. I was in the sun. I went shopping. I went walking. Flawless. I am so impressed with all the mattifying products by Siiz Beauty. This brand really knows oil controlling products. So if you, like me, have I have oily combo skin. So if you have oily combo or oily skin, Siiz Beauty is a brand that really understands how to combat the oils. And I also will say, that one I do have here in front of me. Here it is. I also will say, I'm wearing this one today, the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. I'm wearing it today. I am wearing a little bit of glow on top. And I applied this foundation and my skin has never looked more airbrushed. I am so impressed with how far makeup formulations have come, to the point where I'm like, wow, we can get a full coverage foundation or a medium coverage foundation that is thin and gel-like and feels great on the skin and looks skin-like and looks blurring and still holds up. I'm so impressed with both of these. And also someone asked me, and I forgot to answer the comment because I was in a meeting when I read it. Someone was asking me about that foundation as well. I also had that. Why do I keep looking for things that I put away? That foundation as well. Is a face bond, right? The little squeezy one. That one is also so great. I'm just so impressed with foundations this year. I'm just like very impressed. But yeah, this one from Siiz, it is releasing. I don't think it's releasing. I don't know why they sent out PR so early, but I'm very grateful. It's releasing in the end of September, right? I think, yeah, September 24th. So it's some time left. This is great. This is great. I'm just very, very impressed. Of course, I haven't worn this all day, so I'm going to see how this holds up. But this one, I know holds up in my T-zone. So impressed. Glamlight has been hinting and sneak peeking that they're going to do a full Halloween brawl like they did last year. And I know the owner Giselle basically said, just be prepared. It's going to be back to back to back releases. At least we know. At least we know that there's going to be that. And I think the first one that they're doing, is it Friday the 13th? No, it's Halloween 2 and Glamlight. I don't know why it's Halloween 2 and not Halloween 1. I have no idea. I think it's the one, is it Michael Myers? I have not seen this movie. I'm not big into horror movies, but I will say, listen, I had not celebrated Halloween before I moved to the US. I started getting excited about Halloween. I even did some Halloween palettes last year. I thought I've been using them all year. I thought they were so much fun. And I went to my first Halloween party. And you know what? I've been really excited. And most of you have been like, yay, we're so happy that you're getting into the Halloween spirit. Some people were not so nice about it. They were like, almost like gatekeeping Halloween because I didn't, like, it's hard. I didn't celebrate it in Sweden. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to get into it. I've been really enjoying it. And I caught myself thinking the other day, I wonder what I'm going to dress up for Halloween. Who am I? And I'm kind of like, what am I going to dress up for Halloween? And yeah, I'm still contemplating because I will be home for Halloween. So I'm like, am I going to do something? I'm excited. Do you have any good suggestions? I kind of want to be something nerdy. Did you hear that dog? It was such a loud bark. But anyways, they're going to be releasing a lot of Halloween collections, and I think they're going to start with Halloween too. So if you love horror collabs, I think that Glamlight will definitely have you covered for this season. We've finally been able to see all the details with the Sigma Beauty and the Little Mermaid collab. And honestly, I have this one downstairs. I haven't been able to do anything with it yet, but it is so cute. And these shell compacts, they truly are a collector's item. If you love the Little Mermaid and you like, maybe you're not feeling the palette, maybe you don't want to buy the whole set, losing hairs, which is, I mean, totally understandable. The compacts truly look so cute in real life. So if you want to get like something to collect, I definitely think that that could be the one. But sometimes also remember this, and this goes for all makeup. I mean, I love beauty makeup, but what I really love about beauty makeup is looking at it, wearing it, using it. The buying part isn't the part that I love about beauty. So sometimes also remember, it's okay to love something from a distance. We don't need to own it to love it. Sometimes the existential value, the value of just knowing that something exists out in the world that looks this cute, that could be of value of itself. And I listened to my friend Rachel Palmieri. If you don't follow her, you really should. She was talking about this in a video where she was basically saying sometimes just watching a creator use a product could scratch that itch of wanting to own it. Because sometimes maybe we just want to see it being used. And we don't always need to own something to see it being used. So remember that sometimes when you're getting the itch to buy something and you are unsure whether or not you actually need it, watching people using it might scratch the itch enough for you to save your money. Something doesn't get prettier because you own it if you're not gonna actually continuously use it. But this collection is available now. You can use a code and get some money off. My favorite is the Shell Compact. It is so beautiful in real life, I gotta say. I also really like that in the lips set, there is actually, I think, different formulas. So they're not all the exact same lip formula, even though they're all glossy formulas. I think that's super smart. Palette looks really beautiful in real life. And just by looking at it, I can see that this is the new and updated shimmer formula, which makes me really happy. It is that slim, really sturdy, nice cardboard packaging that I myself am just so in love with. And I think this all looks really pretty, wearable, but still a little fun and colorful. And the color story of the palette is just, I mean, spot on. Speaking of save your money, and I have this spiel every year, and I think is an important thing to remember. During this time, you are gonna see 1,000,000 trillion, zillion, gazillion different value sets, advent calendar, gift sets, big packs for the holidays. These are only a good value if you want everything in them. If you buy 10 lip glosses and the savings is getting one for free, that is only a good value for you if you actually are going to use all of them and you want all of them, or if you have 10 friends to share them with. Who has 10 friends to give lip glosses to? Maybe you can say keep 2 each, but you know what I mean. It's only a good value if you want all of them. So when you see these, I'm probably showing you a picture of a random advent calendar here. They're always going to tell you this much of a value. The value is only there if you want all of it. If you end up not being interested in half of it and you just opened an advent calendar and you paid $500 for something that was supposed to have $1,000 value, and you only end up liking half of it, you could have just bought those products that you wanted. So always do the calculations in your head. When you're seeing those like perfume value sets, oh, you get one and then a travel spray and then a shower gel. If you're not gonna use, if you don't want, like, it's not a savings if you don't want all of it. All of those little gift sets, all of those that say this value, you're saving this much, only if you wanted all of the things in the set. This is a great time to stock up on some of your favorites. I know a lot of people, for example, I have friends that use the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Cream, and they use this shower gel all the time. So during this time, they'll buy some of the gift sets with Sol de Janeiro because they know that they are going to use everything in the set and they're going to use them up. But let's that like TikTok famous like sound right now. Let's be financially responsible. Let's not get fooled by all of these value sets and all of these saving money and these calendars if we don't want all of it. I usually buy like a coffee calendar or like a chocolate calendar. There are a bunch of different calendars that you can use. I think that those are great. I did one for the dogs last year. Let me tell you, that was a big hit. They got treats every day. They were loving it. Absolutely loving it. But I think that like consumable calendars are the best. That's the way to go for me, because I feel like having a little snack or a little coffee each day, that was great for me. I wonder what kind of calendar I want to do this year. I would like to do something, but I definitely don't want to do something beauty related because I know myself and I know I'm not going to want all of it. And I'll just end up wasting my money on stuff that's just going to clutter up my space where I could have just bought the 2 or 3 things that I actually wanted. Okay, I'm going to get off my pedestal. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will say, speaking of some holiday releases, let's talk about this new palette from ABH. This is called the Spice palette. This is their fall palette. This seems to be a very neutral brown, sandy colors with a pinky peach shimmer in there. I mean, if you love neutrals, I guess these are great. I will say I have tried one of these 9-pan palettes from ABH. I feel like it could have been, it was not the Modern Renaissance, it was like the Sultry. One of those in the 9-pan. Maybe the, I don't know, one of them. And I thought the quality was the same quality as they have normally in their palettes. I would say it's pretty much the same one. If you like this color story, I guess it's great. I don't like plastic small packaging like this because I feel like it's less protective of the shadows. I actually do prefer something that's either a little bit more of a sturdy plastic, or I prefer something that's in cardboard because it is a little bit more flexible, so it actually protects your shadows a little bit more. I've dropped a lot of my cardboard palettes and I don't break a shadow, but I did drop a couple of these plastic palettes and I always break something. That's just me being a little clumsy though, maybe. If you don't have that problem, you won't have a problem at all. I think this one is $29. It is coming soon. That's the information that we have. Also, there is a new release from Ravi Beauty. Ravi Beauty is the makeup brand owned by Ali Glines, and she had some lipsticks and then she released some more colors, and now she's releasing a baked blushes. These are, and also a blush brush. These look super cute. All of them are a little pink leaning. It's a pinky peach, it's a brownie pink, and then there is a bright pink. Pink isn't my favorite color when it comes to peaches, but I am kind of intrigued by this. I do love a good blush. I will say these are baked blushes and they have that little dome, so the packaging seems a little thicker, and I don't love that for myself, but I'm also super curious, so I might end up getting one of these. These are like more a swatch of the different colors. I don't know which one I want. I think they're $24 each. I don't know. Are you interested in these? How do you feel about these? Are we good with blushes? There's a lot of blushes coming. But yeah, I might be intrigued in these. Let me know how you feel. Speaking of holiday things and blushes, I feel like Patrick Ta always releases something blush related for the fall or like the holiday season. And didn't he have a blush palette last year that was eyeshadows and blushes, and it was like a bright pink? Because I think that this year he is doing like that normal compact that he has, and it is that super bright, like almost watermelony pink, a cream and a powder, and then it seems to be a lip gloss as well. I think this is cute, but it's not the kind of like, I am not looking for something like this. Okay, let me rephrase. I love a watermelon pink. That's actually one pink that I'm like, ooh, I like that. But for that reason, I actually have at least 3 blushes right now in my collection in that color that I really like. That are not super old in my collection. So I'm like, I don't need to add another one. So I also, and I know, are you allowed to, okay, are you allowed to say this? Because I feel like every time I say that, people are like, Patrick Ta's blush formula was not my favorite. I actually decluttered mine. I thought it was okay. It didn't blow my mind. I'm like, this is fine. So I ended up decluttering mine. Don't cancel me. Also staying very true to themselves, this is Nars Holiday Collection. They're doing a gold packaging this year, and they're just doing what they always do, which is a blush palette, and then they are re-releasing some of their existing product in holiday packaging, and they're doing some small sets. None of this is like super riveting to me. I will say the blush palette is usually, like I should say cheek palette, because it seems like one of them is more of a highlighter. It's something that people usually really love with Nars. And I feel like the Nars cheek palettes and the Hourglass cheek palettes, they're just like, they're hand in hand. They're just like skipping their way into the Sephora shelves, releasing the same shades every year, having a new packaging and calling it new and exciting. I don't see it, but I also don't love cheek palettes. I never reach for cheek palettes. I actively try to avoid to buy cheek palettes because I know myself. We all know ourselves. And I know there are people out there that love cheek palettes. They love opening up a cheek palette and seeing all the options. And if that's you, I've heard these are great quality. I just look at this and think like, this again. Let's just continue with the holiday releases. This is Morphe's holiday release or holiday collection. This is called Holiday Drama Collection 2024. This is this year's holiday collection by Morphe. There is a couple of different things in this collection. There are 2 mini palettes and 1 big palette, and the mini palettes seem to have that new formula that they released that is supposed to be a hyper metallic formula. I've swatched that one in store, and I will say it's a very impressive metallic formula. Then there are some glosses. I think they are liquid lipsticks. Yeah, I think they're all liquid lipsticks. There are some cream blushes and a brush set. And I mean, at least it's not red and green. I gotta say, it's like a warm mauve and some purples. I don't want it, but I also don't hate it. And I think this is one of the better holiday collections I've seen from Morphe. I think it's smart to do 2 mini palettes as well. It's not overly overwhelming of an amount of products. Do I want it? No, but I will say that mini palette with the 3 purples and the 3 browns, and I think that brown metallic is like a blue-brown pigment. That actually does look very nice. Like, that is the most attracted I've been to a Morphe palette in years. One more holiday collection, but this one is actually a Halloween collection, and this one is between Corpse Bride and Beauty Creations. I myself have never tried Beauty Creations. I've heard that they're good but not amazing, but they are a very affordable brand. So if you're a very big like Corpse Bride fan, this could still be like maybe something fun, if nothing else, for collector's value. When I was at Cosmoprof, they actually had a booth there, and they did have this collection out. So we were able to watch this collection and see it, and it looked really cool. I will say though, one of the items is a contour palette, 2016, called They Want Their Bad Ideas Back, because a contour palette was just never a good idea for mainstream consumers, because we always ended up using 1, 2, maximum 3 shades. And this is again just another one of those where it's like, who needs a full palette for this? Like, make it a duo, make it a trio, make it something that's not 6 shades meant for everyone, and sell it to the public. We're not all out here being working makeup artists, and the ones that are not looking for this. So I think that a contour palette, it's the part of 2016 makeup that I just really don't need to see back. And the eyeshadow palette is a 9 pan, and then it's 3 highlighters. I think that that's more okay than when it's like, you know, 9 eyeshadows and then it's a bronzer, a blush, a highlighter. That I don't like at all, because usually that excludes a lot of people. It's not my perfect cup of tea, but I think having 3 highlighters, at least you can use them as eyeshadows. And if they have a transparent base, they will stretch over a lot of skin tones. There's a bunch of other things in this collection as well. Like I saw this when I was at Cosmoprof, and it looked fairly good in real life. So I know a lot of people are big Corpse Bride fans, so maybe this could be something for you. Let me talk about something that I am surprisingly interested in, and it's so random, but it shows you like what makeup products make you excited. This is from Hermes. Never bought any beauty from Hermes, but Hermes does have a beauty counter actually here in Austin, and I want to go and see these. These are the new pens. They are releasing the Trait d'Hermes, well, I don't know, eyeliners and lip liners, and these are crayons. They have lip liners and 24 shades of eye pencils, and then 16 shades of lip pencils. I cannot begin to explain. I mean, this is a luxury brand, but I cannot begin to explain to you how expensive it is to make that many colors. I'm so impressed with the amount of colors. That is so impressive. And as you can see in this picture, there is a yellow, there is an orange. I mean, that's all I need. That's all I needed. Say less. I'm already planning my trip to the store. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can catch these when I get back from my vacation, because they're not going to be in store before I leave. When are these coming? Fall 2024. I mean, who knows? Tomorrow, in 2 months, nobody knows. It's all a mystery. But I'm really excited to watch these. How much are these going to be? They're probably going to be like $30 each. But if this is a good orange and a good yellow, I mean, I'm even wearing a yellow today. These are like staples. These are like staples for me. And I'm just like, I'm interested. I'm really interested. I want to see these. I hope they're not metallic. Very intrigued. Very intrigued. Definitely giving this the double take. Definitely interested. Unless it swatches horrible or is a sheer metallic, I will most probably pick this up. I think a lot of people are also very interested in these new Blush Rush liquid blushes from About Face. They had some cream blushes. Those were not my favorite. There were balm blushes, and I will say they did feel a little bit too balmy on my cheeks. Some balm blushes are just like a little sheer, they look a little dewy, but they're not like greasy. I felt like these were a little bit more greasy, at least on my skin. I want something that's slightly less balmy than that. But now they're doing liquid blushes, and these are supposed to be powerfully pigmented liquid blush with an ultra dewy finish. Oh, I missed that part. Ultra dewy? What does that mean? When you say that with a liquid blush, that makes me think that it's going to be like Lancome Juicy Tubes, but for the cheeks. I don't know if I want that. I do love how they explain the shades though. 6 electric shades beyond just pink. Do love that. And one is, as you can tell, a bit of an orange. I think this calls for a swatch. There's been a couple of products as of late. I swatched them, or I saw them in store. I was interested, swatched them, watched them in stores, smelled them in stores, and immediately was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Almost to the point where I want to film a video, because I remember 2017 Angie used to do videos that was like swatched it in store and changed my mind, and I kind of want to do another one because I have a couple of products like that. I went into Sephora to look at them, saw them, and was like, no, not getting that. And I kind of want to see this one and see how I feel. Would you like to see a video like that? I feel like 2016 makeup beauty YouTube had its perks. We had a lot of really fun chatty videos, just being like makeup I almost bought, makeup I regret buying, the one that got away, stuff I swatched and didn't want. Like, there was a lot of really fun videos like that, and I do miss those kind of videos. Sometimes. I think those were fun. I miss those. Okay, let's also talk about Bella Beauté bar, because they are releasing a palette. Is that one also releasing today? I think so. I think this is the re-release of the Poison Garden, because I'm fairly sure that they had a Poison Garden from before, and then they upped the quality of the shadows, they revamped their packaging, they revamped their formulas, and now I think they are re-releasing the Poison Garden in this new and just better version of Bella Beauté bar. Bella Beauté bar has one of my favorite formulas in the community, both when it comes to mattes and shimmers. They make amazing eyeshadows. Yeah, this one is also releasing today. Again, you can use a code if you want to get some money off. This is a 20-pan palette. It's going to be $75. It has 8 multichromes, 11 mattes, and 1 sequin matte. Sequin matte usually means a matte with shimmer in it, which I actually like. I know everybody doesn't like that, but I like that, especially when it's pastels with shimmer in it. I love that so much. I know I'm weird, but I like that. They're also releasing some single shadows, and usually with Bella Beauté bar, their palettes are magnetic, so you can switch and change the shadows around, and you can add some of these instead if you wanted to. These are, and the single shadows are hand pressed, and it's the same with NC Rain. The palettes are made in a lab in a factory, and then the single shadows are hand pressed by the owner, so that's the difference, but then the palettes aren't hand pressed. These are going to be 10 new, oh my god, there's hairs everywhere, 10 new hand pressed chrome eyeshadows. 2 are re-releases, also launching on Friday the 13th together with the palette. and there's going to be some hollows, and there's going to be some multi-chromes, and there are also going to be some duochromes, and these are, the duochromes are 14 and the other ones are 17. These are just very special shades, and that's the reason why they're very expensive. This is also the reason why some of these palettes just end up being a little expensive, because these pigments are so expensive. I will say the swatches look incredible of these. I don't know if what I am getting in PR or not. I do know that I have a PR package from Bella Beauté bar coming to me. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the palette, but I don't know if it's going to be any of these other things. The singles do look really pretty though, but I gotta say, they're also releasing a fragrance. This is their first ever fragrance, and I am so excited. I love when indie brands release fragrances. I know that Fantasy Cosmetica has a lot of fragrances. I am so excited about her fragrances. And now Bella Beauté bar is releasing Poison Cherry. Oh, this is the Eau de Parfum Poison Cherry. This is 50 milliliter glass spray bottle for 55 USD. It's also releasing at the same time. You can use a discount code on this one as well. This one is exotic black cherry liqueur, almonds, tonka beans, Turkish rose, and jasmine sambac. It says it's perfect for fall. If I don't get this one in PR, I will be on the site on the 13th buying this one, because I love fragrances so much. It's my favorite beauty product. Eyeshadows is a close second, but oh, I am so into fragrances. And the fact that another one of the indie brands that I love is starting with fragrances, oh, I am on that. So I will definitely be purchasing this one if it's not included in my PR package. I can promise you that. I've already put it in my almanac. It is happening. Milani has not given up on the squeezy tubes. They're like just running after the train that already left. They're like, wait for me, we have more squeezy tubes. Now they're releasing an highlighter version, or if this is like more like a shimmery bleach. No. Nobody put shimmering bleach on their cheeks. Don't do what I'm, no, absolutely not. Shimmering cheeks. Deeper breaths, This should have been a cocktail. This is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow Shimmering Blushes. I am not going to get this, and I'm not going to get this for two very simple reasons. I got the Milani other cheek products that they had. They were mid. Very mid. I decluttered them. They were okay, but nothing more. And their packaging was one of those packagings. It's the same as the one that e.l.f. has. That's a squeeze tube with a little poof that you cannot close. There is no closure, so if you accidentally push it, all of it's just squirting into the lid and bye-bye. So I didn't like the packaging. I thought the formula was mid, so this is not for me. I'm surprised to see more squeezy things. You do with this information what you want. This one is releasing from Urban Decay. They are releasing a Moondust Space Cowboy Eyeshadow Quad. 4 shimmery shadows for $39. It says high impact shades with microfine glitter inspired by the viral shade Space Cowboy. None of these are Space Cowboy, so it's inspired by Space Cowboy. It is $39. It is available now. This is not for me, but I can imagine a million people who this is for. I think this is very smart. You had a viral shade. Listen, pump out a couple of things related to that. The people that love Space Cowboy, the people that heard about Space Cowboy on TikTok, they are going to be interested in this. It's a quad. It's all special shades. People are going to like this. I don't need it, but I think it's smart. And if you love Space Cowboy, or if you feel very intrigued about a mainstream brand releasing a quad with special shades, this is not multi-chromes. This is that like finely milled wet look sparkle topper shade. That's what this is. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about Blend Money Cosmetics released some makeup remover. This is very, very exciting. So this is Blend Bunny Skin. And the first thing that they are going to be releasing is a cleansing balm. So this is an $18 for the cleansing balm and 2 of the reusable cleansing pads. So you do the cleansing balm as step 1. You like take off your makeup, you do water, and it gets into be like a milky thing that you like cleanse your face. You use one of the pads to clean off the residue, and then you go in with your normal cleanser. Because for me, if I just use a balm, if I just use an oil, and I don't cleanse after the super fatty oily product, I will break out. And if you also only use the balm or the oil and you have problems with breakouts, your problem with texture, it might be that you're not double cleansing. But I'm very excited about this. This one is actually out for delivery today. This one has a subtle grapefruit coconut scent, and that sounds delicious. I actually love when my cleansing products have fragrance, and especially if you're ever gonna have fragrance in any of your skincare products, let it be the cleansing products, the ones that are just on your face for a short amount of time, to just enhance that little time when you're cleansing your face a little bit with a delicious scent. I love that. So I'm very excited about this one. I love a good makeup remover. I'm all about the double cleansing. Sometimes I even triple cleanse because I do like to wear a lot of makeup, especially like eye makeup. So I'm excited about this one. I cannot wait to try it. I'm loving the packaging with the pink and white ombre. It's very Maggie, and I'm excited. I've said this before. I am a broken record. I love seeing indie brands release new categories of things. We all love a good eyeshadow palette. I love a good eyeshadow palette, but nothing makes me more excited than seeing brands branch out to have more categories, because I think that that is a true sign of a brand that's here to stick around for a bit. I talked about Made by Mitchell a while ago, and I was saying how surprised I was at how many different SKUs and how many different colors the brand came out with every time, because I thought that Made by Mitchell was more of an like an influencer brand created, like an influencer indie brand. But you told me that Made by Mitchell is actually not 100% owned by Mitchell. It's more of an incubator brand where there is a bigger financier that owns the brand, which explains a lot of how they can afford to come up with so many SKUs at the same time, because now they're coming out with highlighters, and it is 9 different highlighters and a blush, and it is just 9 highlighters in duos. That's 18 different colors. That's so many different colors, and I'm just like, it's very impressive. It's very impressive. I hate this packaging. I had this in the powder blush, and I hate it with the Burning Passion. The front of it is like the M for Made by Mitchell. It's just an awful looking packaging. Everybody has a different taste in what they like in packagings. Oddly shaped letters, not on my wish list. I mean, the inside looks pretty though. I just wish it wasn't, well, this. Again, I don't want to be negative. We all have different flavors and taste when it comes to beauty products and makeup and packaging. We can't all love the same thing. Now let's talk about the e.l.f. and Tinder collab. So e.l.f. is collabing with the dating app Tinder. I've actually never been on Tinder, never had a Tinder profile. You see me floating around there. It's not me. It's a funny story. Okay, story time with Angie. Some while ago, and when I say some while ago, I mean before I met Ricardo, so like maybe a decade ago, this guy messaged me and he was like, I think I have been catfished by someone using your picture. Someone had been catfishing him on Tinder, pretending to be me, using all of my pictures from social media. And then he showed me to one of his girlfriends, and one of his girlfriends was like, have you done a reverse image search? And he did, and he found me, and this person who had been catfishing him had not used my name, and he's like, that's suspicious, that's weird. And he reached out to me and he's like, is that you? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, it's not. So that happens a lot. Stay safe out there. Do the reverse image search for sure, because you never know what's going to show up. But this is a collab with Tinder, and I'm not 100% sure. This is already available. I could probably go in and watch, because I think it's available today. Let me go in and watch. This has some repackaged stuff like makeup setting spray. There's also a makeup bag. There's like a duo with a lip oil and a lip pencil. I mean, it's all cute and fun and dandy, but there is also like this one very gimmicky product. Do you have to buy the whole set? The Vault or the Trio? So the Vault has All Slick No Ick face primer. That name gives me the ick. And then there is a high gloss finish lip oil. So this one has like a primer, a spray, and a lip oil in a like set. But I also know that there's like this Tinder, oh here, e.l.f. and Tinder, it's a match sticks. Do you see that it looks like a match stick? And it's basically a one-time use lip on stick like this. It's a gimmick. I mean, that's if you've ever if you Google gimmick, this picture is gonna show up next to it. That's gonna be the Google picture search for gimmicky makeup. It's out of stock, but it was just a gimmick. It was just a collector's piece. This product was for people who was looking to do a TikTok. That's all that was. Nobody is taking these one-time lipsticks on a date. It was just a gimmick, but it's fun. It's all fun and games. And I will say, if there's ever gonna be gimmicks in makeup, at least let them be e.l.f. priced. Oh, I think I saw a little sneak peek. This is the sneak peek of the collaboration between REM Beauty and Wicked the movie. This is very exciting. I think it's so fun that REM is getting to do this collab because, of course, REM Beauty is owned by Ariana Grande. She did buy back her brand and she is starring in this movie. And I think it's so exciting that they're doing a collab together. It seems to be lipsticks. It seems to be a liquid eyeshadow in green. And I think it looks like a lip gloss and a liquid highlighter maybe. I'm excited to see what this is going to be all about. I'm not against it. I actually think that REM Beauty has some really nice formulations. They have some really good products. I just think that they have been a little bit unlucky with timing. And I also think that the owner, Ariana, got herself into some drama that did not help the brand at all. And I also think that some of the color combos that they have done haven't really been striking enough to make people interested in the brand, but it's exciting to see that that one is coming soon. Let us see if there's anything else that we want to talk about. Not that I can see right here. I think that was everything for this video. All the information is going to be down in the description box. Don't forget to let me know what you think about these things. If there's something that you want to pick up, is there something that you already picked up of the things that I talked about? Would love to hear about it down in the comments. Thank you again so much HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Big fan of HelloFresh. Actually, tomorrow on Friday, our HelloFresh box comes, and I'm so excited about the things that I picked up. I hope you're having a great Friday, a great weekend, and I will see you again. I'm honestly not 100% sure when I'll see you again. Okay, there is a really big collection, a fun collection that I am gonna have in Tuesday's video. So I don't know if there's gonna be a video on Monday, but I do think that I'm gonna have my main vlog. Like, we went to Portland, Maine. That vlog will probably be up before Tuesday. That's gonna be my next video. That's gonna be my second channel, but I'll see you then. Bye.